wonderful for bands like us that there's stations like XPN that have the freedom to play stuff that doesn't kind of fit the mold. If it weren't for stations like XPN, we wouldn't be on any radio waves.
All of radio is changing. Everything seems to be changing. The idea that XPN could be a mouthpiece, so to speak, for the local community of artists and of musicians is phenomenal.
And to have the support of something as organized, as influential and as powerful as XPN, you can't even describe what it can do for an artist.
It's all about providing an outlet for local artists. Stewardship of local music is one of the most important things we do at XPN, giving the artists an opportunity to be on the radio, online support, promotional support, and the ability to perform at our festivals.
Taking a chance on people is what you do. That's why like so many people, I think, want to come to Philadelphia now, because they know that there's a forum for their music and a support system there.
XPN isn't just a radio station, it's a collection of people who work here who really care about local music and have great ears. Somebody like Helen Light, who's just absolutely committed to the local music scene, is listening to these artists all the time, identifying the people who have the potential to connect with a larger audience, and having a champion for local music with the reach of XPN makes an enormous difference for the music community.
Here at XPN, I'm Helen Light, and my guest for today's Light Lunch, they weathered the storm. Lowlands have arrived.
Haven't seen you around here in a while. You took off in the blink of an eye.
Helen Light has been just great support for local artists, and we got a chance to play for thousands of listeners across the country.
There are so many things that these artists need to do, but they need that stepping stone, and you see that at the festivals. It takes them to another level.
It's very challenging to get a following, especially as an independent band. We don't have any label support or anything, we're doing everything on our own.
If a person or a staff or a crew behind a radio station gets behind your record, it can be invaluable.
WXPN has always been an intrinsic and valued part of the Philadelphia music scene. It's devoted itself to bringing local artists into the fore so the entire world can see what a great music scene that Philadelphia has.
XPN's support for me, and I know for a lot of other artists, has been huge. That was the transition for me from just playing open mics and little shows to getting heard all across the region.
The impact of having an artist do a free at noon concert, being visible on both our website and NPR's website, is a mini marketing campaign for the artist.
Helen was really helpful in getting me initial exposure. People would come up to me at shows and say, "Oh, I heard you on XPN, so I decided to come."
The impact that it's had for the listeners, on the audience, is that they become more engaged with these artists. So they'll support them, they'll go out to see their shows, they'll buy their CDs, maybe they'll buy a t-shirt along the way. For the artists, they're saying things just like, "We heard our record on the radio, you can't believe how many people are emailing us."
It means a lot. It's taken my fan base from one to a whole nother level.
Through the station and through being played, I feel like there's people coming out, even to the show itself, people that came out and told me that the whole reason they were there was because they had heard it on WXPN.
XPN has been ardent supporters of ours, the local scene in general, and really has given a platform to those of us in the local community to really get our music out there.
We started getting spins from XPN and getting some love. That was like the kind of the start of everything for us, I think.
At the outset, you need a station like this to have something on the ground that you feel like can support you and make a difference at the early stages of your career.
Being able to have a huge national audience through World Cafe is a huge thrill. It's essentially the biggest show we've ever played.
You first told me you loved me
At a picnic by the sea.
You have that commercial radio model, and then you have something like XPN that exists outside of that, and plays. You know, they say it's all about the music. That's really what XPN is about, and they choose music they love.
The launch of XPN's all-local music website, The Key, provides a great gathering place for local artists and fans. Music fans from all around the world can also check out the weekly Key studio sessions to discover why Philly is such a hotbed for new music.
There are a lot of good bands, well-established bands, younger bands, up-and-coming bands. That's what XPN wants to do with The Key, is to take all the amazing coverage that XPN have been giving these bands and put it in a form where it can get out there and create conversation, dialogue, which are, you know, in this day and age, very, very important things towards promoting music.
Well, if you change your mind.
It's been a huge deal for us. Exposed our music to a huge audience that wouldn't normally find out about us. When like other radio stations see a station like XPN supporting new music, they take it as a cue and they feel like more comfortable, and all down the line it reaches a lot of areas you might not think.
We're here, we're in the community, there's some great music being made. We're a convener of that, we're a facilitator between the audience and the musicians who make that music. So it's culturally important, it's economically important, it's socially important, and probably politically important as well.
And if you have good music, you have good arts flourishing in your town, you're going to have a better city to live in. I want a station like this in the city I live in. I want to be able to turn on the radio and know that every time I turn it on, there's going to be something that I care about on there, and people that care about music and want to serve music first and foremost.
You know I believe in the power.
We have a vibrant and diverse music community in this region. When you support XPN, you give us the opportunity to support this music and bring it to a wider audience. Thank you for your help.